again. Thank you for watching. This is Tish Tansil on URBANesque Living. If you're wondering what I've been doing since you've been gone, peeler on it as well, but it's a little bit to show you some secrets of a pastry chef. I worked in the pastry industry, moldy cookies. Sometimes they do crumble. You can stick a fork in it, literally. Easy way to do something that people think is a very hard. You'll find out when we come back.
Thank you, dear. Well, you're very supple. Just like I was at your age. Back then, I was a sex expert. Used to call me the buttered biscuit. I know about birth control, too. So you can ask me anything, baby.
Bedsider.org has birth control information and a lot more. And it's...
Have you had sex in this car yet?
Families come in all sizes and shapes. Sometimes your friends are your family by choice, or sometimes you're just stuck with Uncle Charles. But what we know is that you want to protect the people that are close to you, but the flu can unravel everything. Your flu vaccine protects you and your family. No matter what draws your family together, protect yourself, protect your family. Everyone needs a flu vaccine.
Hi, welcome to another edition of URBANesque Living. I'm your host, Chef Tish Tansil, and today I'm going to share with you some secrets of a pastry chef. If you have an upcoming event and you want to have that wow factor, I'm going to show you how to take an ordinary mold, some chocolate, and give your guests a dessert that will make them go, wow. Stay tuned.
I grew up in the housing projects of Cleveland. I didn't even know that life could be any better than it was. Education for me has been a way to get away from the agony of what was normal life. I want to be able to impact the community, not just look back on where I came from, but to reach back to where I came from and pull some people up with me. My name is David, and I am your dividend.
Hi, and welcome back to URBANesque Living. And like I said, today's show, I'm going to show you some secrets of a pastry chef. I worked in the pastry industry for a number of years, so I picked up some really great tips on how to make an expensive looking item from a low budget. And one of the ways that pastry chefs make those desserts look very special is by using a mold. And this is a candy mold or a cake mold. It actually has a number of uses that you can utilize in your baking, because it can go from a freezer to an oven. And so you can freeze items in it, or you can bake items in it, or you can make molds. And that's what we're going to do today. We are going to be making some shells in order to put a dessert inside of it. And it's going to make our dessert look very, very expensive. So we have our mold. Like I said, I chose a heart shape. You can have a round shape, a square shape, whatever shape you choose is what you can use. So I have my mold. Now what I'm doing is using my induction cooktop, and I'm melting some chocolate. And this is actually white chocolate. You can melt whatever color chocolate you like, but the benefit of using white chocolate is that if you have an event that's a certain color palette, you can actually take your food dye and dye your shells to match that color. If you just want a chocolate shell, just use plain chocolate and go from there. So these are candy melts that you can get from your local grocery store, or you can get them from your craft store as well. This is a product called almond bark. And almond bark is really good because it's very dense. You can use it to coat. You can use it to make all sorts of items that I'm going to be showing you during the course of the series on how to make these pastry chef secret desserts. And so right now what I'm doing is melting the chocolate.
Clean kitchen surfaces, utensils, and hands with soapy water. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
All right, and welcome back. Now our chocolate has melted and it is very smooth and it's very creamy. And our induction cooktop is keeping the water temperature at a nice smooth level so that we don't have to worry about constantly running back trying to melt our chocolate. And so what I'm going to do now is add a few drops of food coloring because this chocolate is white chocolate and we want something a little bit warmer because this is a romantic type of a candy, and this is actually for a special occasion. Now, usually heart shapes are reserved for certain holidays and for romantic occasions. And a lot of times, the color of romance is pink or it's a red. And so we're going with a very light, pale pink color for our candy shells. So when you're using a gel form, and that's what this is the gel color, you're going to squeeze just enough in, give it a stir, make sure that all of it's completely stirred in, and at that point you can tell what color it is. And if it's not a deep enough color for you, then you add some more gel to that. And you keep adding that color until you get the color that you desire, and the color that's going to match your event. And so this is just a soft romantic pink color, and so this is actually perfect. Alright, so now that I have this at the consistency and color that I desire, what I'm going to do is just take a simple brush, and this is actually found in your culinary department. You can find one of these in the cookware section. This one is actually a bristle. You can get this same type of brush with the silicone ends on it, but I found that the kind with the bristles does a little bit better job of painting on the chocolate. And so what you're going to do is just simply dip your paintbrush in the chocolate, and you're just going to coat your shells. And so what this coating does is make sure that every bit of the mold is covered. And so we're just going to do this, and we're going to go around all of our shells. Okay, so all of our molds are now covered with our first layer of chocolate, and I'm going to let this sit for a minute, and then I'm going to go over it again because you actually don't want the chocolate too thin because it will crack on you. So I'm going to add one more layer and make sure that it's thick enough, and then I'm going to pop them out of the shell and show you exactly what that looks like.
Every year in the U.S., more than 350,000 hearts suddenly and unexpectedly stop. But they didn't have to. Early intervention could have saved their lives. I'm Shawn Robinson. Given my family's history with heart disease, I'm here to shed light on sudden cardiac arrest, a condition we need to stop. SCA is deadly and can happen to anyone, but chances are greater in African Americans. Most high-risk patients do not receive recommended treatments. Over 60% of African Americans think they don't need to go to the doctor after experiencing heart disease symptoms. It's time to arrest your risk. Talk to your doctor. Stop SCA before it stops you.
Okay, so I double coated all of my chocolate twice in my shells, and so now I'm waiting for them to dry. Now, I have a little bit of extra chocolate left, so what I'm going to do is use this to make some garnishes. And basically a garnish is just something that adds a little extra to your dessert. And so I have these heart-shaped molds, and so what I'm going to do is take some of my extra chocolate and I'm going to begin filling some of these molds as well to use as a garnish on top of my dessert when I fill the shells with whatever filling. And I'm thinking I'm going to do some type of a strawberry mousse. Okay, so all of my shells are now filled, and this is what I'm going to be using as a garnish. Now, to make sure that I don't have any air bubbles, all I'm going to do is just kind of lightly tap them on the countertop so you can see. You just lightly tap them and it levels everything out. So now we're just going to wait for these to dry as well and for these to dry also. So stay tuned and I'll be back and I'm going to show you what all of this looks like unmolded. Hi, welcome back to URBANesque Living, and while you were gone, I unmolded our chocolate hearts and they turned out very pretty in our shade of pink. So I also made some mini chocolate hearts for garnishes. So in a later show, I'm going to show you how to make the chocolate mousse we're going to fill these with, and we're going to garnish with our little hearts. Thank you for joining me on another edition of URBANesque Living.
I'd like to drop out of high school and get a meaningless job that makes me feel bad about myself.
I'd like to fall victim to the old boys network.
I don't want anybody to notice me. I just want to fly under the radar.
I want to splatter against the glass ceiling. I don't have an opinion.
I want to be a straight C student. I'm going to be a biomedical engineer. I want to succumb to peer pressure all of my life. I'm going to be a best-selling author and win a national book award.
I'm going to be a marine biologist.
Wait, I take mine back. I'm going to be a biomedical engineer.
I think I'll be the president.
I'm going to be Secretary of State.
World-class chef, right here.
Race car driver. Artist.
Paleontologist. Film director.
Surgeon. Teacher. Scientist. Olympian.
I'm going to be the boss.
I'm going to change the world.
Hi, I'm Chef Tish Tansil, and today on URBANesque Living, I'm going to show you some really cool ideas for your next gift basket. Stay tuned. One tip that I would like to give you, because so many people have peanut butter allergies, when you're using peanut butter in a product, make sure that your garnish is some type of a peanut itself, so that people know automatically that this product contains an allergen. And that way you won't have to risk someone eating a peanut product and having an allergic reaction, especially a child. So we want to make sure that we indicate that these are going to be peanut containing cookies. So we have these candy bars, and these are just little mini candy bars that you can buy. You can actually get regular peanuts, but because these are whole, I'm going to cut these up into little bitty pieces, and we're going to use these for a garnish. And you're just going to need a chef's knife, and you're just going to cut those up. Okay, I'm going to cut these into small pieces because our cookie pops aren't that large, and you really don't want big chunks of peanut on the cookie. These are just a garnish to indicate that we have some peanut in the product. Now you could use a food processor to do this and just kind of pulse it, but because I don't want to turn this into peanut butter powder, it's actually better to just do this by hand because I can gauge at that point how big these pieces of peanut garnish are going to be.
Body language can tell you all sorts of things. Like someone is having a stroke. Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. Face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty. Time to call 911 and get them to a hospital immediately. Learn the body language and spot a stroke fast.
Hi, I'm Chef Tish Tansil and welcome to another edition of URBANesque Living. Today, we're going to be making a special treat for our gift baskets. Your guests are going to go absolutely nuts over how wonderful these taste. Stay tuned.
Here we go. We're gonna make some juice.
It's gonna be good.
She's excited. A little bit of kale.
Please don't put this on line.
I'm putting it all over the line.
It's wet. It needs something. No, it'll go.
Don't break my juicer. Looks good.
You ready to try it?
Come on, baby.
Challenge your kids to be active and eat healthy.
It's okay.
You like it?
All right.
They might surprise you.
Hey, she took another sip. You saw it?
Search We Can for more ideas on how you and your kids can get healthy together.
Hi, welcome back to URBANesque Living, and today we're carrying on our gift basket theme. We're going to be making some delicious cashew butter cups. Now these are going to be made with freshly ground cashews. So all you're going to need is a food processor, or if you have a very strong blender, you can use that. So we're going to get started on our cashews. In the meantime, I have our chocolate melting, because what is a butter cup unless it's wrapped in chocolate? So let's get started grinding these nuts. Now the nuts don't have to be roasted, and you don't have to add sugar unless you want to. And if you really want to add a little bit more flavor, you can add some chocolate to this. But first we're going to ground these nuts for about 10 minutes to make sure that it's a good consistency. Okay, so it's about the halfway point. We have a little bit more grinding to do, but I want to scrape down the sides because in these corners there's some nuts that have not been touched. So we want to make sure that it's consistent. Now, you can leave it a little bit lumpy if you like, because some people do like a crunchy nut. So that would give it a little bit more texture. If you want this nut butter a bit looser, add a little bit of oil to it, just a little bit, because a lot of oil will make this into soup, and we don't want nut soup. Although that might be an interesting show to have one day. Okay, so I scrape down those sides, and we're going to turn this on again. Okay, so our nut butter is done. It's nice and smooth and creamy, and it's going to be a great filling for our peanut butter or our cashew butter cups. Now, what I've done is taken some miniature cupcake tins and I filled them with white paper cups. If you have silicone candy molds, feel free to use those as well. But because I'm putting these in a gift basket, I think it would look special to have our chocolate items in these pretty little cups. So what I'm going to do now is take the chocolate that I've been melting, and I'm going to put a dollop on the bottom of each one of these cups because I want to make sure that the entire cashew filling is enrobed in chocolate. So I'm going to put some chocolate in each one of these now.
You wouldn't think the cafeteria would be a scary place. But last year, someone wiped peanut butter on me.
It happened to me on the school bus. So I decided to walk for a while. It makes me not want to go to school sometimes.
There are 5.9 million kids in the U.S. living with food allergies. And nearly 40% have suffered a severe or life-threatening reaction because of them.
School's supposed to feel safe, but sometimes I don't feel that way.
Would you believe that 1/3 of all kids with food allergies are bullied because of them?
I told them to stop. I don't understand. They just want to hurt me.
Right now, we're working on a cure for food allergies.
They tried to make me eat it, but it's like they don't get it.
Until then, there is a cure for food allergy bullying. You. Go to foodallergy.org to teach your kid about the seriousness of food allergies. You could help save a life. Or help someone have a better one.
If I'm not at school, I can't get bullied.
Food allergy bullying. It's not a joke.
Okay, I cleared up my workstation a little bit because I wanted to make sure that everything was nice and neat. So now I'm going to take our chocolate and put just a little bit into the bottom of each one of our muffin tins. And the reason why I'm putting a little bit into the bottom of each one of our tins is just to make sure that the entire cashew center is completely enrobed in chocolate. Okay, now that I have the bottoms of all of our muffin cups covered with a dollop of chocolate, I'm just going to shake them just to make sure that they're all even and that the bottoms are all coated. And so you have a little time because this chocolate is pretty warm. And so it's not going to solidify immediately. So it gives us a little bit of time to scoop this cashew butter on the insides of our molds. Okay, so now that that step is done, I'm going to take another portion scoop. And basically these are little ice cream scoops. You can find these at your culinary store. You can also find these in the grocery store in the kitchen supply aisle. So I would actually recommend trying to get a collection of these in different sizes, because as we do the show, I'm going to be using portion scoops. And the great thing about portion scoops is to make sure that your product is consistent so that you don't have one that's big, one that's small. They're all the same size. So I'm just going to scoop our nut filling onto the chocolate that we placed in our muffin pans already. Okay, so now each one of our muffin cups has a small scoop of our cashew filling. So now I'm going to cover the rest of it in chocolate. Okay, so now all of our nut filling is now covered with a delicious creamy coating of dark chocolate. So now I am going to shake these. Now I'm shaking these to make sure that not only is our filling covered, but that the entire top has a nice, smooth, glossy look to it. Okay, so now I'm just going to give these a shake just to make sure that everything is covered and that our nut filling is totally enrobed in delicious chocolate. Okay, so now our cashew nut butter cups are smooth and shiny and they're beautiful. But what I want to do is just to make sure they have a little bit extra pop. So what I've done is I've saved some of our cashews and I'm just going to put a cashew on top of each one as a garnish. Okay, so now all of our cashew cups have a beautiful natural cashew garnish on top. If you like, you can use sugared cashews or you can use a candied cashew. It's your choice. I chose to use a natural roasted cashew on top because the inside of these are natural roasted cashews as well. So that keeps our theme consistent. I'm going to sit these in the cooler now and let them solidify. This is our final product. I wrapped all of our nut butter cups in clear wrap and tied them with some pretty silver ties. And I found this great gift basket down in my basket collection. This basket is going to be for someone special. Gift baskets don't always have to be full of flowers and dainty. You can make them unusual. Express yourself. Thank you for joining me today on URBANesque Living. Have a good day.
I'm a celebrity. I'm a celebrity. I'm a celebrity. I'm a celebrity. If I told you to do something, you do it, right? You do it, right?
If you want to be cool, that is.
I can make you cool.
If you want to be popular.
If you want to be popular.
Like me. If you want to be hot.
be hot.
If I told you to dress like me, talk like me, would you?
You do it, right? If I told you water runs uphill,
would you trust me?
I'm not a doctor, but I play one on TV.
You wouldn't believe me just because I'm famous.
Because I'm an actor.
Because I'm a singer.
Because I'm in movies.
I'm a recording artist.
Because I play a different person on a TV show.
Don't think for yourself.
Do you think everything they say is true?
It's true.
Question everything.
No one should tell us how we should look. No one should tell you how you should look.
Pay attention to the way
Women and girls are portrayed in the media.
on television, movies, magazines, ads.
The way we are portrayed.
Pay attention to what you're watching.
I'm a celebrity.
So do what I say.
Watch what you watch.
Watch what you watch.
Watch what you watch.